Kimina Hashif, welcome to Daddy Gamer and Reformed Kilted Survival. We are back home and relatively safe. As you remember, things went badly last time, but we got a bunch of kelp. So, yeah, we're going to do something with that. So, we're going to need to make us a few things. We're going to have to grab a few things. We're going to grab some cobblestone. And we're going to need to grab some wood and some iron. And some coal. First thing I'm going to show you, we're going to do little test run of this. We're going to take a half stack of that, stick it in the furnace, and get some. That's not what I want. Oops, that's not what I want either. All right, let's try this again. Half of that, put it in there. All right, so we're going to burn some coal. So the idea is that you burn some coal and you get these dried kelp. Now with dried kelp, you can put a bunch of those together into a kelp block and actually use that kelp block as your fuel source. The dog's pushing me around. Why don't you sit? Sit. There you go. So we'll do that in a little bit once that's actually done. But actually, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a system with hoppers to get this to be a little bit more, if not efficient, it'll be more, a little bit easier. So we're going to make a new furnace for this particular thing, and we're going to make, let's do 3 chests. The reason we're doing 3 chests is because we are making 2 hoppers. Hoppers are over here, made out of chest and iron. So we're going to make 2 of those chests into hoppers. So we've got 2 chests, a furnace, and a hopper. That should be enough. We can actually make a 3rd hopper, but I don't feel like I need to do that right now. So what we're gonna do is, where is my, oh, there it is. Whew. I was a little bit worried there. We're gonna take that out, and we're gonna start by putting just the regular chest. It's gonna be down here on the bottom of the thing. This is where the dried kelp is gonna end up. Now I'm going to look, and while we're at it, I'm going to grab this dry kelp. We've got 13. What we do is we go to the crafting table. We go over to this area. This is, of course, on PlayStation. It's totally different from everything else. We find this dried kelp block, and we just make a dried kelp block. And we can actually put that in place of, say, this coal. And it's going to burn. And it will burn. We've just earned the trophy of alternative fuel because that's what it does. That will burn 10 or 20, I don't remember, individual blocks. Anyways, so that's what we're trying to make. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hoppers, we're going to get our furnace, and we'll get this all set up because you need a lot of this because you need 9 of these for each block. So you don't necessarily want to sit around doing that forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a hopper onto this chest. Now what a hopper does, I'm just going to put it over here. Here's a hopper used to catch items or to transfer items in and out of containers. So if I were to, say, throw some rose bushes, not quite high enough, over there, they actually fall into the hopper. And I can look in there and look, they're in the hopper. Great, cool. But we don't actually want them in the hopper because that's going to fill that up pretty quick. So we're going to take this down. Ugh. And what happens if we put it on top of the chest, it'll actually fill up the chest. Now, here's a trick that I did not learn until recently. If you put a hopper down, it's going to open a chest. But if you crouch, you can stick that hopper right on there. So let's do our little test. I'm going to throw that high enough. No, I'm not going to throw it high enough. All right, we're going to try to throw that high enough. All right, so if I throw that stuff in there, it actually ends up not in the hopper, but in the chest itself. That's pretty cool. Now, what's real fun is if we put a furnace on top of that, then anything that comes out of the furnace goes into the hopper, goes into the chest. What's even more fun is if we put then another hopper. I'm going to have to take out this, I think. Oh, that's going to pick up some cobblestone. Oh, there's no hopper there yet. If we put another hopper there, again, crouch and put another hopper right there. Then what we can do is we can actually go ahead and fill that hopper up, and as it is it not attached? It is not attached. Okay. Did something wrong there. Okay, let's try this again. I think I need to get higher. So let me... Oh, I should not have put that one away. Alright, I'm going to get above it. I put my hopper away. Derp. Alright. Duck. Bonk. Alright, that should be attached now. So, now... Oh, I'm crouching. So now if I put that in there, it's actually going to start filling up the furnace. So I can load this thing up. Oops. Oops. Not with arrows, but with kelp. I can actually fill it up as much as possible and keep filling up. And it's going to just keep filling up that furnace. So, the nice thing about that is we can put a bunch of kelp in there. And if we were to, say, put in a couple of these kelp blocks, yeah, we are going to want to do another hopper. No. Make another kelp block, or few. We've got 2 of them. If we go ahead and stick those into that fuel spot, it's going to start making that fuel for us. Cool. Really nice. And it immediately goes down into the chest. So we can just let that go, and it'll just keep going and keep going and keep going. Now we're going to have to wait for a little bit and get some of these cooked dried kelp, because we're going to need to make more kelp blocks to get that going. But you can also do another hopper on the side and fill that up with fuel, so it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. But with these kelp blocks, we'll have to watch it for a little bit, but you know, I'm gonna just put some coal in there so we get a good deal of coal to start with. I'm going to stick all that in there and just let that go. So that's going to be a much more efficient fuel source for us. And we'll just stick some more of that in there. Alright, so we've got still a bit more. Another thing I was going to do is brighten the place up again a bit. We've got some lovely... where did I put the clay? Where did I put the clay? Oh, did I leave the clay upstairs? I did. I left the clay upstairs. Got some noisy neighbors. We're gonna do some stuff with clay. It's not just for trading. Oh my goodness. The nice thing about using kelp is now all of the coal that we get, we can actually use to trade. And as you remember, most of our villagers like to trade coal, so that's super helpful. And we got a random horse who's generated in the building, or in the fence. That's cool. Yeah, it was over here. I think we put it in this barrel right here. We did. Sweet. Alright. Now, I don't recall if I need to cook this. I want to make a flower pot. I think it's over here. There it is. Alright, I need bricks. Okay. Man, we got lots of aminals running around. That's cool. That's cool. Alright. So we're gonna head on back. And our nosy neighbors looking in the barrels just because that's what they do. You notice I'm not getting any more fisherman neighbors coming in and messing with my stuff, which is nice. I'm not sure exactly what I did to earn that favor, but I'm good with it. Alright, so we are gonna put some of that clay into the fire, and it's gonna give us some bricks. And as you saw, there were 3 bricks for one of those flower pots, so we're going to go ahead and make one of those. 1, 2, and 3. I'll go ahead and get the 4th brick. Might as well. And I'm just going to stick some kelp in there to use the rest of that fuel. It's not going to do a whole lot, but that's okay. So, over here we have a flower pot. Sweet. So, let me take that flower pot, and I'm going to put it right about, I could use a little bit of, let's put it over here, by the bed. That'd be nice. We're going to do something different over there, actually. We're going to do the flower pot right here. So there's a flower pot, and we can put some of these flowers. Oh, I got the trophy of pot planter. I don't believe I can put a rose in here. Let's see. Nope, cannot put a rose in there. But I can put, I can't put a lilac. Lilacs are too big. Oh, man. We have some more flowers over here. Azure bouquet, oxeye daisy, dandelion. Let's try the bouquet. I think the bouquet will go in there. Small stuff can go in there. Oh, look. Isn't that pretty? That's so pretty. What we can do, however, with other stuff is we can actually just get dirt. This is kind of the old-fashioned pot. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Take that out. Take that out. Take all these out, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that right there. And we are going to make some trapdoors. We can make 2. Alright, that should be enough. And what we do is we put those right there. Boop. Oh, look at that. and we can actually just plant a nice rose there. So we've got a rose. Ah, if we were to call it by another name, it would indeed smell so sweet, which is a really handy thing about roses, if you happen to get that reference. So yeah, so that's a nice way to bring the outdoors inside. That's pretty. We've got a bunch of this going, and so I'm going to go ahead and make some of these. Got 5 of those, and I'm actually going to go ahead and take that out and stick that in. Sweet. Might as well take this out too. I usually put the leftovers right back in there because why not? And let's fill that up again. I am not going to do all of the kelp though, because kelp is pretty close, but also I mentioned doing a kelp farm sort of situation. So we're going to do that. Now, kelp, I don't believe you get experience points from. Let's see. Maybe. Probably not much. So we're not going to worry about that. Something to keep in mind, this sort of thing, this setup, like if you put your iron in there, you're not going to get experience from smelting that iron, because you get the experience when you take it out of the furnace. Well, if the hopper is taking it out of the furnace and sticking it in there, you're not going to get experience from just grabbing stuff from a box, which kind of makes sense. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're really worried about your experience points. Then this is not the best way to go about doing things. But it is a great way to kind of efficiently do this kelp system. And want to go get a cat? Let's go get a cat real quick. We're almost out of time for this episode. It's kind of a lot of random things. Yeah, sun's going down. But let's get a cat real quick. I don't know if it's easier to get a cat during the night or a day. Let's go for this black one over here. Whew. Who is freaking out a little bit. Hey, kitty. Kitty's coming near us. Whoa. Oh, kitty's really excited. Sees my salmon. Hey. You want to be my friend? Yes, you do. Great. Oops. You're in love mode. I did not mean to do that. I meant to have you stand up. Alright. I'm going to call you Poe. Like Edgar Allan Poe, Black Cat. Seems appropriate. Alright, Poe. Also Poe, like Poe Dameron, Black One. Oops. So, yeah, I like it. Alright. Cool. I think that's it. Oops, that was the wrong button. Thanks for joining me today for Kilted Survival. Join me next time. Next time is going to be in a little bit, actually. And we'll do some more fun stuff. All right. Thanks. Bye.